I am here with Keith Kirwin from Cool Sheds, and what's really fun is we are actually sitting in what I call my Cool Shed studio. Keith, thank you for coming today.
Absolutely. It's been a few years since we were on having a conversation on camera together.
Right.
This one's a lot more comfortable because the last time we were standing out in my yard in Somerville at about 1,000,000 degrees like it is outside now.
Yeah.
But like you said, we're sitting in your cool shed.
And it's nice and cool.
It's very nice and cool.
I mean, years ago, I remember going to your lot and being like, wow, like these are really nice. And here I am. I have my own cool shed. I use mine as a studio space. So you're on the couch here, but I've got my computer, my recording area. And what I love about what you do is it can be personalized for literally anybody and anything. Right?
Absolutely.
Like all their needs.
It's so surprising because people asked me years ago, why cool sheds? And I said, well, because we have very cool designs. We can design all these different kinds of buildings. And then we got into building out buildings like this one that actually have air conditioning, so they are very cool temperature-wise. So you can play it either way. But this one we built as it could be a home office, man cave, a she shed, many different applications. And Erin happened to grab it and make it a studio, which is a one-off, one-of-a-kind, awesome way to apply the idea of it. And it's extremely comfortable and very cute.
I might spend more time in here than I do in my house. Just maybe. Can we go back to the beginning?
Yeah.
You know, how did you get into this business? To say, like, I'm going to sell sheds.
Yeah. It was in 2009, 2010 in the recession, and I have a background in some construction and some real estate and sales and marketing and web stuff. So the opportunity came across for me to start a shed company. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound bad. And so we started in Somerville, and a few months later, we opened up our store in Greer, and we still have both stores.
Yeah.
We're almost 15 years later now.
That's
and it was started with me and my father, and then a few years ago, I bought him out, so I'm the sole owner of the company, and Pops is still working part-time up in Greer. He's about to turn 78 years old.
Wow.
Still working.
So you have the two teams.
Yes.
How far will you deliver a shed?
So the nice thing is by having Greer in the upstate and Somerville in the low country, we can cover practically the whole state.
Yeah.
We literally just delivered one 2 days ago into Irmo, South Carolina, which was exactly halfway between our two stores.
Perfect.
But this guy was out of state, found us online, looked at our website, found a building that he liked online, did the full transaction online, and we just took it to the address in Irmo.
Just showed up. There it was.
We did have to sign some paperwork and get some agreements done to make sure we could get the building in physically. We're not. It's not like Amazon. We just drop it off on your front porch. There is some logistics. Oh, that fence, your pool, things like that are a problem sometimes.
You guys are pretty amazing. I was impressed at how fast you were able to shimmy this in here. Let's talk about, there's a lot of sheds that you might see them at some of the big box stores. They are not like these sheds. Because they're not. I mean, the quality and the design, like you said, this one is like a mini house.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit about the sheds. I know you have engineering papers over there.
Right. So what I find interesting is when I go to these big box stores and you see these sheds sitting out there on the parking lot, that is on asphalt or concrete, not even being used on a daily basis, and they look like they're falling apart, that's a bad sign. What's it going to do when it's sitting on your ground in your backyard being used properly?
Right.
If it's not built right, if it's not engineered, it's not going to be built to last. And that's without even a storm or hurricane hitting it. That's just normal wear and tear on a shed. So obviously we cover all of South Carolina. All of our buildings are built to the same spec. South Carolina coastal region is 135 miles an hour. We go above that. Miami, Florida, Miami-Dade County, they have a code of 160, and that's what we built to. So that way we've got the best building that can go into coastal Georgia, coastal Florida, all that. And so even my people in the upstate that don't need that level of engineering, they get it. Because I'm only going to build one product that's really, really good.
So everything else might be gone, but the shed will still be here.
Yeah, I say if a Cat 5 hurricane comes, I wouldn't run to the shed. It'll just be here when you get back.
Still leave, but the shed will still be here. You've also kind of expanded into a new avenue, if you will, carports.
Yes.
And again, this is not just any carport.
Right.
These are fancy.
Well, yes. So the engineered drawings are important. So we have these big engineered papers with all these stamps and signatures that show that every state agrees these are built for the coastal quality. So you got multiple things here, so that this allows us to go through permitting processes.
Right.
You don't have to go through permitting, that's up to you, but we can go through all the permitting with the engineered drawings. That's for the carports. We also have all those for the sheds.
Yeah.
And that's the stamps with the Florida ratings on them. So those are important because it tells you the quality of the building or the carport is going to be outstanding.
Right.
And then if you want to do something like this inside of it, like a a man cave or she shed on the shed, we can do that, and you're starting with a great platform. The other thing the carports are getting into in the fall, we're going to explore this more, but they're called barn dominiums. So you build this big structure like a barn, and you finish it out. They're calling it a barn dominium. So I think that's going to be really fun.
That's
we'll roll a lot.
Did you just coin that, or people
Nope,
say it?
no,
Okay.
I saw
I was
it.
going to give you credit.
No, the manufacturer.
Barn
and this
dominiums.
Yes. The other thing about the carports. So with the sheds, we design the sheds. We send it to our manufacturer. They build it to our specs, and they bring it to us, and it's built. Then we put it on my truck, my trailer with my delivery crew to bring it to your house. So we can control that environment. And that's why we make it look easy and smooth, because we've got the best equipment and very good guys doing the job. Yeah. When it comes to the carports, it's a little bit different animal. We design the building with you and then send the order in, and then we're handing all that responsibility off to that manufacturer.
Oh, wow.
It's them scheduling it, it's them loading the trailer, and then sending their guys down to install.
And there's 3D design software too?
Yes, so we have full 3D design software on our website for both the sheds and the carports. So it can get kind of tricky, so we encourage people to pick up the phone and call us. We can work a design up with you. And then from that design, we can drop it in your email, and then you can link back into it and start playing around with it yourself. But we still save the original, so if you get it crazy, we can get back to where it started.
You can go back.
The other thing about the carport deal is we sold carports years ago, but we found out the company didn't do a good job, and the installers didn't do a good job of communicating, and their engineer drawings weren't good enough, so we kept running into problems. So we stopped selling them for a long time. So it took me a number of years to find a company that I believed can handle the Cool Sheds name properly to my customers, that I trust them to carry our brand name, and their communication is good. The factory is located in South Carolina, so we got faster delivery. They have the 3D software, which I thought was extremely important for the ease of my sales staff and the customer. So those are all good things that we're excited to get back in carport business with Steelcraft.
That's super exciting. Also, just to add to all the things that you're doing, you've got a little press recently, Charleston Women Magazine.
Yes, this was a fun little project.
It's a huge honor.
Yes, I was very pleased. They reached out to me because they were going to work this article from one of their readers, and they wanted an expert opinion. So she went online and started Googling and found me and asked me if I could be an expert. I said, well, I know a lot of stuff, so I can help you with that.
There you
if
go.
You call me an expert, I appreciate it. But
and I do their podcast for them, so I'm coming from my Cool Shed studio during the podcast.
That's great.
But that's great. And that was an issue not too long ago. People can still find it.
Yep. It was earlier this year.
I love that.
So that was a nice article, and she asked me a lot of technical questions, and so I filled in all the blanks for her, and the article came out really nice.
That's great.
Yeah. So
what is next for you guys? So from sheds to carports, press, your social media seems to be taking off. I see all over the place. What are you doing next?
Yeah, we also, whenever we have extra time, we do shed moving for people that haven't, sometimes they have bought a shed from us and it's going to go somewhere else. Sometimes they haven't bought a shed from us. They just need us to transport. So we do all that, and we have all that on the website. You can, fill out the forms. We can look at giving you a quote for shed moving. So that's a service that we offer that doesn't have anything to do related with us selling something.
Right. So if someone purchased a Cool Shed and they bought a new home, they could, in theory, take the Cool Shed with them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we've seen something where this older gentleman had bought a shed from us, and so he's going to go live with his daughter now. So we're going to take his shed over to his daughter's house.
That's great.
So whatever the reason, just a matter of where is it, what does it look like, is it empty, and where's it going, and here's the price. So that's just a service we offer. But looking forward, I keep looking at tiny homes. And they really interest me. So I'm doing my research now to see if Cool Sheds evolves into the next level of getting into the tiny home.
And after that, you'll have like your own reality show.
My wife might send me to live in a tiny home. We'll see.
I was going to say, you'll be sleeping in a tiny home.
Yes, it's going to be real nice. Nice one.
I love talking to you. I mean, when we were doing it outside in front of the sheds on your plot up there, who'd have thought that we'd been doing this inside of my shed?
I know. It's a wonderful full circle story.
Yes. Where can people go for more information? Obviously, website's the best place, right?
Yes. So obviously, coolsheds.com. We have all of our inventory on there, so you can look at what we have. We have our 3D software on there, so you can design your shed or your carport all right there. And we're open 6 days a week in Greer, 7 days a week in Somerville, so you can call us at any time. We can help you with the software. You can come by and see us. In Greer, you've got my father Jack and Trip that work the sales up there, and Rodney's our ace delivery guy. In Somerville, you've got Brandon, who is my sales manager, and Kurt, who's been with me since I started the business.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
he's been with me that long, and he's amazing. And then Jim is our tip-top delivery driver down here in Charleston. So however you want us to help you, we got phones, we got the internet, we've got offices. So whatever
got it
works for
all.
you, we're happy to help.
Keith, always good to see you.
Thanks so much,
Thank you
Ed.
for stopping
Appreciate
by.
it. Love your cool shed.